Birmingham's new national indoor arena. Chris Eubank and Sugar Boy Malinga will be throwing the first televised punches in this £51 million facility. Hello, a very good evening to you. Well, Chris Eubank is just moments away from making the first defence of his world 12-stone crown against Sugar Boy Malinga. And really, until that opening bell rings, we won't know how Eubank has been affected by his last fight against Michael Watson 4 months ago. But ever since he became a world champion, Chris Eubank's career has been surrounded by controversy and now deep sorrow. He took Nigel Benn's world title after a brutal scrap. Eubank, the man, becomes undefeated WBO middleweight champion. The first defence on home ground in Brighton, it's unconvincing. He butts Dan Sherry, but gets away with a split decision. After overpowering Gary Stretch, Eubank again gets the judge's nod against Michael Watson. There's a storm of protest. The public demand a rematch. So Eubank and Watson meet again at White Hart Lane on September the 21st. This time at super middleweight. Eubank gets off the floor. He stops Watson in the last round. Well, Michael Watson is still very seriously ill as a result of that fight. He's making progress, but very slow progress. So, how does Chris Eubank feel now about the Michael Watson situation?
It's unfortunate that that punch landed. I mean, my record is, I would say, one of the most important things to me. But it's not to be compared with a man's health or life. So I do say unfortunate. It is unfortunate. But such is this blood business.
Do you blame yourself at all?
Do I blame myself? Yeah, I blame myself because it wasn't me who delivered the punch. Just because the system legalized this business, or this sport as you would call it, doesn't mean I'm not to blame. I'm the one who took part. I understood what I could do. It happened. Against the law of averages, it happened. I am to blame. I'm the one who delivered the punch.
Well, as you can see, we're seeing a very different Chris Eubank after that Michael Watson fight. Much more subdued. What about the opposition, though? Sugar Boy Malinga. Well, Malinga's camp are very confident. They're very big outsiders. Age 32, his performances have tended to fluctuate over the years. A likeable fella, he's made a lot of friends. And this Zulu warrior is by no means overawed.
See, a Zulu, the Zulu always fight to win. They don't surrender. Never mind how tough the thing is, but they keep on fighting. Yeah, they keep on fighting till they conquer.
He's a stand-up boxer, mover. He's quite hard to tag. I believe my skills of boxing and moving is far better than his. Maybe not far better, but better.
Well, the bow tie is off now. Chris Eubank has his fight face on. We're back with Eubank against Malinga straight after the break. And welcome back to the new National Indoor Arena. Well, it's all building up here and we're all waiting for the entrance of Chris Eubank. Simply the best, as he's always called himself. Malinga has got over his trunks simply better as a little bit of kidology. Chris Eubank, who says he's still only in this business for the money. And the familiar sounds of the Tina Turner music break out behind me. And we all wait and look towards the corner to see if Chris is going to make a dramatic entrance. A very different fellow he's been in the build-up to this fight, Eubank. Very relaxed indeed. Made a lot of friends in Brighton and up here in Birmingham with public sparring sessions, raised a lot of money for children's charities. But he says when he appears here, it's the end of the nice guy, and Chris Eubank, the fighter, takes over. One of Eubank's big gripes as he makes his entry is that he's been misunderstood. Well, that's the warmest reception I've ever heard for Chris Eubank. The public, although a few boos are still around, would appear to be very much on his side in this brand new arena. Chris Eubank, of course, with the belt over the shoulder of his trainer Ronnie Davis, who always looks more worried than Chris himself. Until we see him go over the ropes, his customary leap into the ring. He's looking at the high hurdles. And not much has changed, and up and over he goes. Okay, well, Rex Guttridge and Jim Waller standing by. First of all, the MC with the official announcements. It's Alan Hughes.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, promoted by Maxim and sponsored by the Daily Mirror and the Sunday Mirror newspapers, we are proud to present the main attraction of the evening, a super middleweight contest at 12 stone over 12 rounds, each of 3 minutes duration, for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World. No judges for the contest are Harry Davis from Toronto in Canada, Mike Liena of Chicago, Illinois, Andre van Groentenbroel from Belgium. Your WBO supervisor is Mark Schechner from Miami in Florida. Your British Boxing Board of Control security in charge are David Roden and Charles Giles. Your referee for the contest is Steve Smoger of the New Jersey, and your timekeeper Norman Maddox of Stoke-on-Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing to you in the red corner with the white shorts, with 33 wins in 39 contests, the reigning South African Super Middleweight Champion and challenger for the title, Thurlani Sugarboy Malinga. And his opponent in the middle corner of the yellow shorts, undefeated in 29 contests from Brighton, the reigning WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the world, Chris Eubank! Ladies and gentlemen, at the weigh-in today, Sugarboy Malinga scaled 11 stone 13 pounds, Chris Eubank 12 stone exactly. I thank you.
Respect the man at all times and protect yourself. This will be considered a clean shot. This will be considered a clean shot. We understand each other? Touch gloves. God bless.
So there it is. Atlantic City referee Steve Smoger, who's done 20-odd World Championship fights. A little bit of one-upmanship here by Sugarboy Malinga. He's got on his trunks, simply better. And I think most of you know that Chris Eubank's slogan is simply the best. So first time in this part of the world for the Zulu Warrior. And now what performance are we going to get from Eubank? Sometimes I'm not sure that he knows what he's going to do until, well, halfway through the fight. But he'll go looking for Malinga. And when the bell goes, you know, all those tragic events of the past, they come right out. We had that, of course, with Alan Minter and Barry McGuigan, who suffered similar traumas, and they get over it if they're professional gladiators. Told Malinga's good boxer, and, well, it's got a reachable jaw, obviously, but it hasn't proved vulnerable yet. It hasn't been knocked over. He's been on the deck a few times, but he hasn't been stopped. And he's also had 2 cracks at good world championships against American Lindell Holmes, and that was in Rome, and Graziano Rocchigiani in Berlin. Well, in both places you'd have to knock him out to get a draw, so I'm not too worried about the fact that he lost on points to both of them. Good performance. But that's the loudest cheer that Eubank, I'm sure, has had in his career. He might have got some at Brighton, his hometown, a bit more than that, but in this rather splendid arena here in Birmingham, the crowd certainly rose to him. And at the weigh-in today, he was as cheerful as anything and shaking hands and tried to change the whole image. Complex character, but certainly a compelling one. Well, it looks as though we've got the boxer going, with the hunter going after the boxer here, Jim. He doesn't like them when they back off Eubank, does he?
No, but Eubank has claimed the centre of the ring in the first round here. His punch is a little bit out of distance. He's trying to land big shots, obviously too early in the contest. But I think he's just probably having a look at Malinga, measuring how long this man's jab is, and then he'll decide on his own tactics. But good positive punches that Eubank is throwing. They're not landing, but well delivered, and he's looking in a good frame of mind.
Well, he took a couple of right-hand punches there, but they didn't seem very powerful. But, well, they all count. And, of course, it went 12 rounds. It's 3 judges, Chicago, Canada and Brussels. There it is, got a clear view of that. Simply better. Always looking to read the opposition, Eubank. He calls the ring a cage, but there's times when he really is a good craftsman as well. He undersells himself for once in that department. So, end of the first round then. Yeah, very much a sort of scouting report really by Eubank, I thought. And not a bad bit of boxing either from Malinga. A real power shown at that stage. The referee there, he collects the judges' scorecard after each round and gives them to the supervisor. So, Jim, in replay then?
Yeah, well, Eubank, some decent punches out of range. Malinga come back with a decent right hand then, but I don't think he has the power to trouble Eubank. But I get the feeling Eubank just wanted a good long look at Malinga in the first round.
Old firm there, Ronnie Davis, former boxer from Brighton, looks after Eubank. I think he's been through about 9 trainers in his career. Started in America, remember, and won some fights out there at Atlantic City. So he's sticking right down to the last second before he gets off the stool. Old pro's trick, really. Second round then of this super middleweight. That's the 12-stone division. He's held the 11 stone 6 title. This is the first defence of the super middle. Which was once held actually by Tommy Hearns, who vacated it. Well, he looks a gutsy enough fighter, Jim, doesn't he, Malinga? In other words, he's doing a bit of Zulu warrior, but he's looking for the opposition.
Yeah, well, I think he has proved in the past that he has a good chin. He's certainly brave enough. He's failed in his couple of tests at top level. I think Eubank is quite a bit stronger than Malinga. And if the fight isn't going the way Eubank wants it to go, then he realises he can afford just to walk straight into this fellow and trade punches with him. Eubank certainly is far stronger.
Exceptionally strong body, Eubank, actually. Oh, missing by a mile with that one. Could do with that punch in a test match by the look at the way he bowled that one over. Yeah, smart mover, Malinga. He backs off well, making Eubank miss.
Yeah, and he's slipping under Eubank's punches, which is dangerous because he's still within range to come back with the counters. Just a little push from Eubank. See, he's not moving away from Eubank. He's slipping under the leads. So Eubank's going to have to be a little bit careful because he could be tagged with some counters.
And when Malinga got caught with that punch, did you notice he shook his head at Eubank just there? That didn't hurt, don't worry about it. 39 fights, he's pretty well an old head against 29 unbeaten by Eubank. So it's taken Eubank quite a while to get his punches honed. A minute to go in the second. He's reaching far too much there for a champion. He should be just edging that bit nearer Eubank, as he did there.
That was a good solid.
As you may have noticed, we're experiencing some difficulty with sound on this boxing. We've lost the commentary for a while, but obviously we will continue in sound, or rather in vision only.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 3.
So they're all tip of the gloves, the Zulu, Jim, really, aren't they?
Yeah, well, we knew he wasn't a big puncher. Eubank certainly throwing the better punches, and this is a good strong round for Eubank. I think he's trying to intimidate Malinga in this round, just to show him who's the stronger.
Did well there, just backed off contemptuously there, didn't he, Eubank, to make Malinga miss. He's having a little moan there, Jim Malinga. See that?
Yeah, I think it was Eubank pulling him, putting his hand behind his head and pulling. I think that was his complaint. But it's always a good sign when your opponent's got something to complain about. See, he's keeping Malinga off balance. He's bullying him a little bit now, not allowing him to set for these punches.
Well, for a game that Eubanks is always saying he doesn't like, he certainly seems to be enjoying himself a bit here, doesn't he?
See, Malinga is a smooth boxer, but Eubank's not allowing him to find any rhythm in his work. Good left hand stuff in this round from Eubank.
The crowd are well on Eubank's side. It's the first time I've known that.
Seconds out, round 4.
And out for the fourth round. And at the end of that one, he did his famous strut there, Eubank, when the round was over. It took ages to get back to his corner. He does the Jekyll and Hyde bit, doesn't he, Eubank? And admits it. Anyway, he says, the way I look sometimes with the strut and the shoulders back, it makes me cringe. He's very honest about that. But that's what makes him the fighter that he is. If he was anything else, he would only be half as good, I suspect. Oh dear. I like the way he goes after Eubank, but he's missing by a mile at times, isn't he, Malinga?
Well, I think Eubank will be pleased at the moment because he's more in control than Malinga. You know, he's controlling the pace, he's controlling the action. He's forcing Malinga to throw the punches. And as I say, boxing well with his left hand, but he's a little bit more open in this round. Possibly Malinga is trying to step the pace up, knock him out of his rhythm.
I think Eubank is, well, offering some respect now that he has never been stopped. And he's probably biding his time a little bit, Eubank, I would think. Not the easiest fellow to read, really. He can change so much in a contest. Yelling in Malinga's corner, they keep punching, rather an obvious thing for seconds, but if he's only sort of going through the motions and not hurting, well, he catches the judge's eyes often. Surprising lot of the inaccurate punches, though, Jim, from two well-schooled boxers.
Yeah, but we have to remember that they're both good defensive boxers. They're both difficult to hit the best of times, so you're going to see a lot of missed punches. Eubank throwing quite a few punches out of range, which is surprising. He should be finding his range but this time. But I think he'll be quite happy because, as I say, he's controlling what's happening. He's being allowed to work at his own pace, and that's what he likes. In some of his previous defences, he's been put under pressure. But he works better when he can dictate the pace.
Again, the mist is going on. He nearly got through with that one, but nearly is not enough. Now, if he come up to the end of the round, I suspect that Malinga's corner men are trying to get him to steal the punches and try and steal the verdict. Oh, well, good old there, the referee, Steve Smoger from New Jersey, pull the man away and shove him back to the corner. Taking his time, almost dismissing the off his cares, isn't he, the way he sits down there, Eubank man of property. Jim, this is the attack at the end of the round.
You see, they're both finding it difficult, both good defensive boxers, so we're going to see a lot of punches missed until the pace slows down a little bit untidy at times. That's a clash of styles, but good boxing nevertheless.
So I wonder how they're deciding what they'd like him to do. I think he's going to be his own man. They can only say so much. And then in the white gloves, it looks like a bookmaker's tic-tac, but a lot of the seconds are irrelevant these days. Not compulsory in Britain because of the AIDS problem.
Seconds out, round 5.
Out for the 5th round of the scheduled 12 rounds. World Boxing Organisation super middleweight, that's 12 stone championship of the world.
Well, we thought before the fight started that Malinga's best weapon was going to be his left hand, but for me, Eubank's left has been doing the better work. He's always gets himself into a little untidy scrapes, Eubank. And that's happening again tonight, but he's doing a lot of good work with the jab.
I know that quite a few people have pumped Malinga up since he's been to Britain. He trained in London at the Thomas Beckett, and he came up to Birmingham and was quite well received in his camps, and he's really on a high for this fight. He thinks it's certainly going to be his last chance, 3rd time up for a world title. He did well there to pull that what could have been a dangerous rabbit punch from Malinga. And referee Smoger was saying no.
So sometimes Eubank overcommits himself when he's made to lead with punches, and he gets caught out making some mistakes. But when he makes a mistake, he has a good chin. It's never let him down yet.
No, he's been on the deck, of course, but manages to get up. Bit of a boxing chess match, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, at this moment it's not the an action that keeps you on the edge of your seat, but it's good quality boxing. Both two good defensive boxers, so that's why we're seeing so many punches missed. But it really is good boxing.
Take it to him, Malinga's cornerman yelling. sure I agree with that. He rather likes the counter-punching Eubank. He likes fighters to come at him. Oh, right out of the blue, that one. And he's now acknowledging it, actually. Isn't that surprising, Malinga? But his legs are not a bang, though. He's having a problem there in the 5th round. The legs really went to pieces. Threw it a wild punch, really. No such thing as a sucker punch, because they need to hit you anyway. But now, if he needs to count the few seconds now to get over this, and the bell has come to his rescue there. And he's laughing at him, actually, would you believe? Or at least grimacing, if nothing else. And Nick Durant there, Larry's been strutting around the ring early on now, realises his man's in a bit of bother. Jim, have a look at that punch.
That's the same right-hand punch that looks so bad when Eubank misses with it, but look what happens when it lands, how effective it is. That the man has so much power. A lovely right-hand punch.
Have a look from the overhead camera there, as you say, Jim, bingo, right on the point of the jaw. He did well to get over that, Malinga. Referee did a good job as well as the bell went. And a little nip around the right eye he's got there, I hadn't seen that. Once more. No, not that one, that's the one that got away. That's the one that didn't. Crowd really going now. Eubank has got him at it in round 6. As you quite rightly say there, Jim, he does look silly when he misses, but when it lands, I mean, he's got an extraordinary reach, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, Eubank has thrown a few of those right hands right from the 1st round, and they look so bad because we're missing by so much. But what a cracking punch when it gets home. And that really was a shaker. You can see the way Malinga's legs went. Quite fortunate for him, it was close to the end of the round. But Eubank knows he has the power, he knows he has the ability, and he's been in charge all the way through, he's been dictating the action. So that's exactly what he needed, I think.
Well, let's see if it's also not some of the confidence out of Malinga. He's certainly been willing all the time, I must say, a willing warrior. He's getting on top of it now as the Eubank. He's stepping in a bit more.
See, this is where a lack of power is going to let Malinga down. He doesn't have the power to gain respect. This is where he needs some respect, because Eubank really coming at him and he just doesn't have that power.
The look on Malinga's face there as he went down, he sort of stared up as if the enormity of it all hadn't happened. But the form book was right there that he does get off the deck, but I don't think he could have gained if he caught like that.
I think there are still some effects, Reggie. His legs don't have the same spring. I think that's knocked a lot of the confidence from him. That was a cracking punch.
He's not so anxious to lead now, Malinga. He's kidding a little bit too. Now there was a real overreach job there. Although he's showing them favouring the right hand, Jim, can't rule out really a left hook as well coming in from Eubank. He tends to do that. Oh, we didn't know about that really hurt, but that looks like it for a second. He was certainly surprised, wasn't he?
I think that punch might have caught him slightly with his mouth open and just caught banging the point of the chin. Anybody can be hurt, and that one did shake him. That's a surprise, because I didn't think he felt Malinga could shake him with a punch like that. And the crowd there giving it the Eubank cheer, and he certainly will welcome that. So Malinga realises he has to come back with something strong, and that's what he's trying to do. Another good left hook, just missed the whisker there.
Well, he did well to get over that, and had a little mindless success, if not all there. He just certainly shocked Eubank with that one, I must say. If nothing else, can't really tell how much it hurt, but he wasn't too pleased with it, Jim.
Well, it was a hook which seemed to catch Eubank maybe with his mouth slightly relaxed. His jaw mouth is relaxed, and it certainly shook him.
Well, I tell you, he doesn't relax the mouth much outside the ring, does he? He's got to practice what he preaches there a little bit. Still, you can't go through a World Championship fight without getting caught, can you? That's more than you can hope for. And a little bit of a problem that cutman Freddie King is having to staunch there. It's not a bad cut from our vantage point, and I'm sure the corner can cope with that.
Seconds out, round 7.
And it's round 7. And it's really hotted up this few rounds now. Early on, just a little bit of look in a surveying job, and now they've got on with it.
Well, I think Malinga needed something to boost his confidence a little bit. Maybe that left hook has done it. He's much more positive at the beginning of this round, and possibly he's completely thrown the effects of that punch that floored them. What was the push?
Doing the rope trick all right. They seem a bit slack now, the ropes. I don't think there's any question of Eubank not wanting to go in and finish it, Jim, do you?
Just the bandages come loose, the tape around the glove has come loose a little bit.
Yeah, take time off. The referee is telling the timekeeper for this. You'll still get the 3 minutes. And the manager there, as I say, Nick Durand, he was born in Warsaw and lives in South Africa. His dad played for Wolverhampton. Jim, I was saying, at no point I wouldn't have thought of Eubank deliberately pulling off, because he did once when he fought Kid Milo, following the tragic circumstances with Michael Watson.
I think he did that with Milo because it was a cut. I don't think it was. I remember it was because he was taking punishment, but no, when he had Malinga in trouble, he certainly went in looking for a finish.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, it's the old gladiatorial thing, and once the bell goes, he's got to get his living in as a world champion. And as he says, I need the money, my taste buds have been spoiled.
Malinga getting himself back into the fight again, and that knockdown really shook him quite a bit, but he seems to have got some of his confidence back, pushing Eubank back.
And there's Eubank now working out the next move, Jim, when he skirts the ring like that, just biding a bit of a breather.
Eubank's a little bit guilty of pushing opponents with his forearms. You know, when he misses with one of his own punches, he just puts the forearms on and pushes the opponent.
Good shots to the body, weren't they, there?
Good shots, yeah, good punching.
Gains just that fraction out of distance.
Eubank's glove coming a little bit loose now.
Oh, his glove.
It's just the tape outside the glove.
I thought for a minute that we hadn't seen the eye worse than the cut there, so I was hoping that wouldn't cause him to lose the championship of the world on a fight he's clearly winning. So again, a few seconds off. Oh yes, he's put them together now to the body. They're the weakening punches. Work to the body and the head will fall. American referee doing a good job here, Jim, isn't he? I know he hasn't had that much to do, but what he has is handled it competently.
Yeah, a couple of good shots from Malinga, a nice little uppercut, so certainly he needed his confidence back, and he's got it. Eubank a little bit more disjointed in this round. He doesn't have the rhythm. It's just kind of single shots and swings again as he was doing earlier.
Second out, round 8.
Out for round 8 then. Certainly some swings and roundabouts here, Jim. Just as Eubanks has got it in control, as you say, suddenly lost rhythm a bit, and Malinga does a little bit of pinching points, doesn't he?
Yeah, but you always get the feeling that Eubank can take charge when he wants because he has the superior power. And his left hand has worked very well tonight. He's working well with the jab. And then the one time his right hand has landed cleanly, saw Malinga on the floor. So I think it's all down to attitude with Eubank. When he decides to go to work, he knows he can get this man under control again, I think.
No, that went over the shoulder. They said beautiful, the cornerman there. I could hear from Malinga, but it went over the shoulder, the punch. Oh, he got himself really close up there and waited for he picked the spot there, that one punch, Eubank. Meanwhile, South Africa's getting on with it, Jim.
Yeah, that was a good body shot there at the home, but Malinga took it away and carried on, but it was a good shot. So there's that long left jab again from Eubank, very accurate.
Very predictable, Malinga, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just working forward, doing the same things all the way through. But Eubank is difficult to pin down. When he backs off and sways, Malinga's getting home with punches, but he's not getting the power behind him. Eubank just pulling away at the last second.
Got to be close up as well to appreciate the jab. And that left hand jab really sinks in from Eubank, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is as sharp as I've seen Eubank's left hand. Very accurate. He's used it very well tonight, very effectively.
Style sort of suits his personality, really, Eubank. Jim, don't you think, as we come out to the end of this round, it's a bit complex in many ways. He changes it as he goes along.
Yeah, well, that's right. He goes for a walkabout, comes in and out, single punches, then 2 and 3 punches. He's not an easy man to work out.
And the referee just saying, make sure that there's tape over those hand bandages on the gloves there, and they're just attending to those as the rounds lady from the sponsors, the Daily and Sunday Mirror, appear. But I don't think certainly the boxers never look up for see what the round is, and sometimes I wonder whether the ringsiders bother either. Only water, of course, allowed in the corners. There was a time in the so-called good old days when poured champagne over boxes and so forth to bring them round, and I think quite a bit too expensive. So Ronnie Davis, Freddie King there, the men closest to the seat of power. So, they must have taken, I would have thought, put the pressure on now in the last part of the fight, the last furlong as it were. Round 9.
Eubank started this round with that big careless right hand again, and was slightly punished for it.
Well, nearly, Jim, was it? Just caught him a bit almost on the neck, that right hand punch.
Yep, that one wasn't far away. Maybe he's going to try to produce a similar punch. Really gets power into that right hand. Good left hook there. Malinga looking a little bit weary now. Maybe the pace and the pressure getting to him, but he's a bit weary.
Yeah, that'll tire him, just missing the punches. Is that so when you're in there and you throw them and you miss it? Tires you at times.
Yeah, and it's a sign of tiredness when you miss by so much with a punch. It's as though you knew before you threw the punch it was going to miss, but you didn't have the strength to stop the punch going. You know, just it's a sign of tiredness. And he looks just to have lost that little bit of the step in his feet.
Not moving backwards now, Malinga. He stood his ground there and got tagged.
I think Eubank can really take over here, Reg. This is where his strength could really play the part. So that was a charge with the shoulder.
Oh, wasn't it?
I mean, there's a couple of things that Eubank should be getting pulled up for, pushing with the forearms and the shoulder, but the referees just left him alone.
No, it's the bandage again. He's got the problem there, Eubank. I really don't understand why that happens. In the corner there, that should be well taped up, ready, and not to hold up a contest. But they do take time off, timekeepers. But how much is difficult to say, 4 or 5 seconds sometimes. But it's at the end of the round, you get a knockdown. It could take, make such a big difference.
See, if Eubank had kept what he was doing, he would have taken charge completely there, but then he backs off again.
Stands off and admires the work a bit at times, Eubank, and when you're at World Championship level, you can't often afford to do that.
He's floundering a little bit now, Malinga. I think he really is feeling the pace. I think he is feeling pretty tired now.
Another bit of bandage on Malinga there, waving about. I hope we don't get a stoppage. Oh, they can do it between them.
Seconds out, round 10.
Referee Steve Smoger's going to both corners just before the bell there to make sure those gloves are taped properly. So round 10.
Well, Malinga wants a big round, Reg, because things have been slipping away from him the last couple of rounds, and he begins to look tired, so he wants a big round here.
Considering he only had one fight last year, Malinga, a 10 rounds win, he's in pretty good condition really, but I agree with you, Jim, he's beginning to huff and puff a little bit.
See, all the way through, Eubank has been breaking his rhythm, making them miss, making him throw punches when he's not set to throw, and that's what tires you out. He's not been allowed he's never allowed Malinga to control the pace of the action. It's been a good tactical battle from Eubank tonight.
Different contest altogether, Jim, than the Eubank Ben and the Eubank Watson contest.
Yeah, well, we can't expect these kinds of battles every time he goes into the ring. It's all down to opponents, and I think tonight he just wants to hang on to his title, not take too many chances, and just have a slightly easier night than he's been used to. And I don't think we can blame him. I don't think he has anything left to prove. I get the feeling if he really stepped up the pace, he could stop Malinga. A few signs that Malinga just doesn't have too much left to offer, and Eubank should just step up the pace.
He may well do that, Jim. He's a good, finisher. He knows how to come on strong at the end of a fight.
What he seems to do, he seems to wait for one good punch to land, then he follows it up. He doesn't always go looking for that one good punch, but if it lands, then he follows it up, forces a stoppage. But I think he could force a stoppage here if he desired. This is where you're living dangerously, when you allow the man too much leeway. You're taking punches you don't have to take.
Well, we've had some disputes in the points and things with Eubank, Jim, haven't we, in the Sherry fight, the first Watson fight, but, well, on our judgment, surely he's clearly in front.
Yep. He's never really allowed Malinga to land it with quality punches. He's controlled most of the long-range boxing with his own jab. He's taken some punches as he moves back and sways back, but not of the same quality as the punches that he's been delivering.
Had a smile there just a bit earlier, the referee, when he threw that punch. Just a playful-looking punch. The referee had a laugh and moved away. So the long haul back to the corner for Sugar Boy. So, by the way, Eubank wouldn't call him that. He thought it was a bit disrespectful, but in fact it was given to him by his own brother, Maxwell, who was a good pro. And he was a little flashy apparently in his early days, but as you can tell tonight, he's calmed that down okay. It's a very crowded corner there. On the outside, an American manager agent called Bob Middleman, and he's using that little end swell, they call it, and a little ice iron that they keep in the bucket to take down any swelling, but just force it down a little bit. And he needs a bit of a wash and brush up, doesn't he, all round to come out for the 11th, but it's a good willing fight, and that I liked about him. I was a bit worried that he wouldn't put up a strong enough fight at one stage, and knowing his background. But he's been 12 rounds 8 times, Malinga. 11th round. Now, is he going to put it into the last 2 rounds now, Eubank? It looks as though he just may well do that. He's standing his ground a bit more.
There's still single punches. I really feel if he wanted to take this fight by the scruff of the neck, he could really get this man right under control, but it's just single jabs and then moving away again. You can see the power in the punches when he sets himself.
And the crowd spotted that. I'm not sure Malinga saw that one coming, but they got a bit excited about that. But again, he's backed off, Eubank, and well, I suppose people will read into that he's deliberately backing off Jim, but through past circumstances, but I don't go along with that. He's thrown enough punches to knock him over.
Well, I've said sometimes in the past that he fails to sustain the good work that he produces, and he's doing that again here. Obviously he's doing it intentionally. Maybe he's quite happy to go home with a points win, still have the world title intact. It's not all about knocking the other fellow out. He's probably quite happy. He's proved himself the better boxer. He's hanging on to his title, but I feel he's taking punches he doesn't have to take. I mean, if he would really, even if he didn't force a stoppage, if he would get his work together and sustain the aggression. But it's all a little bit disjointed again.
Good, competent fighter, actually, Malinga, but without the power to go with it at this level.
Yeah, I think that's what's let him down, probably, in his 3 World Championship contests. He doesn't have the power just to command that respect. You don't have to knock people out, but you have to have the power to keep them on the defensive, to command respect, and he just doesn't have that kind of power.
He doesn't travel well, obviously, Malinga. He's only won once in 4 fights outside South Africa. And, that was Jose Quinones in Puerto Rico. He beat Errol Christie Quinones, lost to Nigel Benn. We're coming up then to the end of the 11th. Well, it's entitled to possibly the ice pack as well, but no, it's settling for the water. And he looks as though he's blowing a bit hard. Well, it's not surprising, isn't it? No, it's just a swelling there below Malinga's left eye there. I thought for a minute he was cut, which would be unfair to him, really. Coming up, he's gone to the 12th round now for the 9th time.
Corners, 10 seconds.
So the gesture from the referee there, shake hands. Haven't seen that one before, a bit obvious, wasn't it?
12th and last round.
12th final round, and the crowd are lifting now. They want to see a good finish. Oh, are we going to get any drama here at all, Jim? You don't get the instant raising it. That was a definite slip there. The referee, quite right. No, not interested in taking up a count. Good shots to the body again there. And remember now, the referee does not raise the hand of the winner immediately, as we get in British Championship fights. The WBO supervisor has got to collect them and make sure they're correctly signed by the judges. All the points.
Eubank's getting some rhythm into his left jab again here. He started around well with it, and he's keeping it going. I've seen some good left-hand boxing all the way through from Eubank. Good solid jabbing.
And just a reminder of those judges: Chicago, Toronto and Brussels. Well, can you weigh it up, Jim? We're getting towards the end of it now.
Yeah, well, I've got Eubank comfortably in front, Reg. He's never allowed Malinga really to control any of the rounds at all. He's maybe nicked a couple of rounds just through Eubank's carelessness, but he's always been the boss. He always had the feeling that he was in charge for the full 12 rounds. He didn't step up the pace when I feel he should have done to force a stoppage. But he's quite happy in there, and I think if he didn't feel the same as I feel, that he'd be piling on the punches now, and he just seems to be seeing this round out, doesn't he?
Minute to go then. And as you say, Jim, seeing it out is just the apt description, really.
Still good defensive in the days of boxing, and still good left-hand jabbing in the last round from Eubank. Some nice boxing we've seen from him tonight. Not the blood and thunder stuff that we've seen in the past, but good steady boxing.
Malinga's given him a good rumble at times, though, isn't he? And the way they're reacting. Oh, dear. I don't think we need that. Everything's dramatic with Eubank, isn't it? And I said the South Africans cornermen are getting very excited and giving the impression they think their man might have won. So there it is then, too late for a knockout. Of course the bell would interrupt. Only in the last round that could happen. And there it is. Well, South African given a friendly wave to the crowd, but I think by that reaction from Eubank, well, that's another one in the bag. His first defence of the Super Middleweight Championship of the world. And the press were told was staying on the outside of the ring, as they now always do. And promoter Barry Hearn there, of course, Eubank is under his promotional banner. So it's like discussion of saying, well, I think that went all right, didn't you? So there's always a sweaty palms time, isn't it, to make sure you've got the right winner and maybe the margin of points involved. But it doesn't matter if it's 1 point, as long as you've won a championship or retained it.
Big show of appreciation to both boxers, Sugar Boy Malinga and
Appreciation to both boxers, and very plush. The first big fight here at the National Indoor Arena at Birmingham, and very plush arena indeed. Good sporting fight, really, wasn't it? That's what I like to see that at the end of the fight. Simply the best, looking at simply the better. And a good job done by Steve Smoger. Probably saying, I enjoyed that, fellas, thank you, because it makes the referee's job a lot easier. How about that for a friendly finish? Not too many sports that do that, really, is when they've knocked half a life out of each other and want to be mates at the end of it. I'm just trying to see now whether the supervisor, yes, he's finished with it. He's calling the MC over now, supervisor from Florida. Cutting the gloves off just in time, presumably Eubank to have that hand raised again, and he got his 30th unbeaten fight with 17 stopped. He stopped actually 13 of his last 14, but this one, well, went all the way and is now finished. I make it, 182 pro rounds he's had. Always take this great drag-out time there, don't they, with the Superbank advisor making sure that the MC announces it correctly. And, well, you can't read people's faces at the time. Nobody seemed overly anxious. And there it is from the news.
We have a split.
Well, would you believe it? Split one.
Referee Harry Davis scored the contest 115 to 112 in favour of the Sugar Boy Malinga.
Oh dear. 3 rounds is given in Malinga. Well, there you are. How you read the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Andre van Rule scored the contest 115 points to 113 in favour of Chris Eubank.
2 rounds ahead for Eubank by the Belgian judge. No, 1 round ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Vienna scored the contest 116 points to 113. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and still the...
Yes, there it is. 116, 113, 115, 112, 115, 113.
And ladies and gentlemen, the WBO Superweight belt presented by Mark Schechner. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation please once again to Sugar Boy Malinga.
And, well, applauding the crowd and presumably himself there, Chris Eubank. A job well done, really. Nice, confident. Managers and trainers like to see their boxers win that way without getting into too much trouble.
Well then, Jim Waters to just join me up here in the God's Gym. I mean, I'm flabbergasted that one judge gave that 115, 112 Malinga. I can't believe that.
I don't believe that at all. I mean, you can see Eubank was in charge all the way through, better quality boxing. He always knew himself he was in control. 2 officials gave it to Eubank the 3 rounds. That was at least the margin of victory. I'd say probably 4 or 5 rounds.
I would go along with that. I know it goes against the fighting grain for you, but I'm sure a lot of people watching will say, well, he held back in this fight. He had his man go and he held back because of Michael Watson.
Well, I don't think he did. He was throwing good, solid right-hand punches. He was missing with the punches. But the one time he did connect with the right hand and put Malinga on the floor, you can see he meant business as he moved in. He wanted that fight over. And actually, it could affect him the other way. He could possibly want fights over quicker to cut down dangers.
Absolutely right. He's just getting checked over. We can see Chris Eubank down there with Ronnie Davis, and we hope to be able to snatch a word perhaps with Chris Eubank a little bit later on. But I think a bit disappointed, Jim, that Eubank didn't finish the job when he had him going, because he perhaps after that 5th round he should have been in for a quick night.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I'm disappointed. It's up to Eubank. I mean, quite a few times when he began to dominate Malinga, but he just seemed to back off. But that was a beautiful punch. That was you can see the way Malinga's legs have gone here. He is really out of things there. And I really feel when he got up, Eubank did try to finish him off, but just couldn't land a similar punch. But that was a cracking punch. And he threw quite a few of those punches throughout the fight, so I don't think it's affected him adversely. I think he's never liked the business too much, but I think he still means business.
No, just the 2nd time that Malinga has been off his feet in something like 40 fights, so it's quite a good shot to put in there. But again, I feel that he felt he had the job done. He'd won just about every round. He must have felt that anyway, although one of the judges disagreed with him. Going to the 7th or 8th, and he thought, well, I'll coast along here and I'll win it on points.
Yeah, well, that's what he's like. I mean, he'll probably tell us his reasons now. I'm anxious to find out why. But he'll have a reason why he didn't want to finish him off. He was enjoying the boxing, but I think he always felt in control. He didn't feel the need for heroics. When he's needed heroics in the past, he's produced them. Full credit to the man. He didn't need them tonight, although when you see the decision, sometimes we have to wonder, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, everybody will look ahead now, and we will now talk about people like Nigel Benn and things like that. But I reckon he just finally and very quickly he wants easier fights than that.
I think he wants to enjoy life now.
Okay, we can hear from him. Let's have a word with Chris Eubank, and he's with Gary Newman.
Chris, in a way, you cut it fine tonight because one of the judges gave it the other way.
Listen, Split, I won that fight, no doubt. Karen, tough guy. I love you to death. I'll be home tomorrow morning. That's all I care about right now.
But he was a tough guy, Chris, but you knew he didn't have a lot of power. Do you think you could have won by a bigger margin? You did it in spurts tonight.
You didn't fight him. He has got power. He hits hard. He puts his body into the punches, and he's a hard hitter because he carries the weight as well. Remember, his one title is that cruiserweight as well. Let me just say, South Africa, I know you're watching the fight. Please increase the pace.
But did you think it was a good performance by you? Your timing was out a bit tonight.
Timing was out. I took 10 weeks off after the Watson fight. All respect to Watson. He proved himself to be a man. Please, God, Michael, recover. I don't know whether you're looking at the TV. Please, God, recover.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
Okay, a political message as well from Chris Eubank. Your next boxing on ITV, it's a fortnight on Wednesday. Two men who've both been in with him and one will be in with him again. I would think Nigel Benn and Dan Sherry. Well, tonight's fight probably lacked the intensity and the drama of the past ones that have involved Chris Eubank, but he's still the champion of the world. Bye-bye.